back. I'm your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode 96 of the 815 Exchange. And well. Some interesting developments have arisen in sports this past week, and of course we are here to talk about them. We also once again have an entertainment segment, and it's just marvelous. It's just marvelous. Speaking of marvelous, this is not a plug. Marvel is not paying me to say this, nor is Disney. Though Walt Disney and Marvel Entertainment, if you do want to pay me to sponsor, feel free to. My email is open. But Miss Marvel comes out this week. We'll talk about that next week. Going to take a shot on it and see what it's like. They haven't really missed on a TV show yet. Though I'm a little bit skeptical about this one. I'm not sure. Just not sure. But we'll see. We'll talk about that when we get to entertainment. But, plenty to talk about. Another undisputed champion. Baseball. We talking about the Yankees and Angels again. So, plenty to, some stuff to talk about there. And, a whole lot more. As always, if you want to skip ahead to, the NBA segment, of course, we got Game 2 going on tonight. Which, of course, means that you won't be able to see it, of course, because we have to, upload. Well, not upload, but we have to record on Sundays. So, we'll talk about Game 1. By the way, Game 2 should have been on Saturday. It should have been last night, but I digress. NBA doing what the NBA wants. And what was I saying? Everything you're looking for, as always, is in the description. So, if you're looking for, to head to that NBA segment, or you want to hear me talk about the Yankees and the Angels in the MLB segment, or you really want to hear my album reviews for the week, as we had Vory and Malone drop, go to the entertainment segment. All those timestamps are provided in the description, as well as my social medias, IG, Snap, Twitter, and TikTok. All there, all can be found there, and in the outro if you make it there. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have combat sports. We have things to attend to in combat sports, as it really has been for really the past, I'd say, 7-ish weeks, where it's just been non-stop, and especially in boxing. Less so in the UFC, but it's been boxing season. And it continued with the lightweight matchup. We've talked about this vaunted, highly acclaimed, but also somewhat disdained by a lot of people for, the amount of talking they do in the young and exciting 135 division. Finally, we got Undisputed. Of course, we managed to get it. We've got two fighters that were willing to fight each other in that division. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to George Kambosos for beating TFM Malone, who is going up to 140 as expected. No real surprise there. So, of course, we can talk about that a little bit after we talk about the Lord Devin Haney. No, he doesn't go by that anymore. He's Devin the Dream Haney, and Devin's dream came true in Australia on Saturday night and very, very early Sunday morning, as Devin Haney completely outclassed George Kambosos to become the undisputed, at only 23 years old, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. It wasn't close. It wasn't close. I think I had it either 11-1 or 10-2. It wasn't close. Haney, he's got the skills. I feel like we've been saying this for a while with him. He's that good. He's just that good. Some people don't like the fighting style. Some people say he's boring. Whatever it is, dude's got the skills to pay the bills, and he's got the skills to get results. And he gets results. He wins. He's a winner. That's what he does, and that's the best thing you can be in the sport of boxing, is a winner. And Devin Haney wins, and he has won his way up through the ranks, through all of the hype, through all of the talk, through the email champion stint, through all of it. And now he has taken every single opportunity. He has battled adversity, and now he is the undisputed champ. The guy in the division full of a bunch of young superstars trying to make their claim as the guy, or as the future of boxing. Haney is the one that can claim, I have the belts to back it up, because I have them all. So now everybody will be chasing Devin Haney. I believe Gervonta Davis should be next. Kambosos, that fight wasn't competitive enough for me to, he very well could, right? He could activate the rematch clause, and that'd be that, but I think Haney's he's on a different level. I think he's just on a different level from Kambosos, and that's okay. That's all right. That's not the end of the world. Kambosos is a great fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous talent. But there are levels to this game. There are levels, and Devin Haney is on a different level. I think the Tank fight is the one that should be next. It makes the most sense. Ryan Garcia naturally was mouthing off, as he does more often since he's come back from his mental break. No. Though I think him and Haney would be a compelling fight, I think, once again, go knock off another one of these because they have plenty of contenders. I think he's fighting Fortuna, Javier Fortuna, who's supposed to fight last year. So we're finally getting that fight. Impressive performance there, then all right, we can talk. But until then, knock off some contenders, build the hype back up because it died down a little bit with the break. But yeah, again, I'm glad to see it. Another Undisputed champ. I love that we're getting, we've had 3 Undisputed champs, I think, in the past year, past 365 days. I love that. I love that for the sport of boxing. There's a lot of belts. So there's a lot of guys that can claim that world champion. But as I said a couple weeks ago, when Charlo did it, it's a legacy. It's a legacy-making thing. There's a lot of guys that get to be world champion. There's not a lot of guys that get to be the undisputed champ, the unquestionable guy in the division. So, yeah, hats off to Haney. Huge legacy point at only 23. Again, he's one of the best superstars in the game. And, yeah, the jab, unstoppable, bro. Unstoppable. Volkov takes out Rozenstruik at a UFC Fight Night. This was a shocker. Not that I didn't think Volkov could win it. I had it about 50-50. But, yeah, it looked Jairo was going to knock out Volkov. This happened in round 1, by the way. It looked like Rozenstruik was about to get Volkov up out of here. But Volkov, all credit due, stayed composed, landed, and then flipped the fight right on its neck. Flipped the fight. And yeah, finished him shortly after. Volkov gets the knockout. Was not expecting that. But yeah, gets closer to that heavyweight title fight. Of course, the heavyweight division is a little bit of a state of uncertainty. Ngannou is the champ, but Dana doesn't want to pay him. And Ngannou is currently injured. So we're kind of in an influx. We got John Jones looming. We got Stipe still out there. We got Derek Lewis. We got now Volkov. Cyril Gane is nobody really knows what's going on. Alright, nobody really knows what's going on with the UFC heavyweight division. I can't tell you, and I'm the person that's supposed to, I guess, know. I couldn't tell you what's going on with that division. I can't even matchmake for it right now. But yeah, Volkov, impressive win. He takes out Rozenstruik. In the MLB, the Angels. Oh, man. It's just been rough. It's been rough for Mike Trout since Tommy Pham called him out. He's been hitting 174. Since apparently the one game that Mike Trout is bad at in this life is being a fantasy baseball commissioner, at least according to Tommy Pham. All right, and that has Trout just he's choking, man. He's choking. He's falling apart. He's hitting 174. It's all falling apart. But all joking aside, the Angels have crumbled. After the impressive start that we talked about 2 or 3 episodes ago, when I was like, wow, the Angels are really, making a jump possibly this year. Nuh-uh. Dead. Over. Lost. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row. 10 losses in a row. It is misery in Anaheim as just nothing can go right. Trout in a slump. Shohei in a little bit of a funk right now, too. Now, to be fair, they did play the Yankees, who we're about to talk about. Currently the best record in the MLB. But, nonetheless, it's been rough. It's been rough for the Angels. Lost 10 in a row. We'll see if they can get the wheels back on the wagon, because right now they have fallen off. The Yankees, however, are just, it's been great. It's been great. As a Yankees fan, it's been glorious. It's been glorious. A dream start to the season. The only thing that's not dreamy about this start of the season is the fact that we're going to have to pay Aaron Judge an unfathomable amount of money. We're going to have to give him, as I tweeted out, Mbappe money. Actually, I don't know if I tweeted that out. But that was probably in the draft, so I don't know if I tweeted that out. But anyways, that'd been a great tweet. We're going to have to give him Mbappe money at this point. He's on pace to hit over 60 home runs in a contract year. I'm in pain. I'm in so much pain. Just pay him, all right? Just please, just pay him. Play him. Give him the captaincy. Whatever you got to do. I need Aaron Judge on this team. Not just because I got his jersey last year, and that would suck if I had to give that up already. But he's a superstar, man. He's a superstar. He's the face of the franchise. And he's been playing like that. And it's been a big reason why this Yankees team is gone. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. But Angels trending down, Yankees still trending up. That's the MLB. Keeping it going here as we head over to entertainment, which is really just music and TV, as it usually is. I mean, occasionally we have a movie, but usually this is really the TV and music segment. But let's see music. We'll get to the boys a little bit later. Let's start with the less just the boys, all right? So I'm going to give y'all a little breather before we get to, everything that comes with the beautiful show that is The Boys. We're going to start off with music, all right? First off, Post Malone returned with his first album in, I think, two years, I believe it was, 12 Carat Toothache. I did not listen to this full album. I started listening to it, and it wasn't stony. It wasn't stony. I'm not saying it was necessarily a bad album, or the songs that I listened to, which I think was the first 4 or 5, weren't necessarily bad, but I just felt an overall vibe for the album, and I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't. There may be, and you guys can let me know, that there are some great songs, and it may have been a very good album. It's not been getting trashed by any means. I think it's a solid album. It's not some of his best stuff, but yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Personally, I wasn't feeling it. I'm not going to rate it. I'm not going to bash Posty for whatever it is. I'm going to leave that to y'all. Y'all can say how y'all felt about that. But 12 Carat Toothache, I wasn't feeling it personally. Lost Souls by Vory. Vory has been around for seemingly ever in the Instagram comments of your favorite IG model since IG came out. But the LA socialite turned musician, or has he always been a musician? Anyways, Vory's got an incredible voice. And he got a lot of hype after he was featured on, I think it was Donda. I think it was the first Donda. So a lot of hype about Vory going into this Lost Souls album. A lot of people with some high expectations. Very, very talented. Like I said, he's got an incredible voice. I'm going to also wait, so no ratings. I'm sorry to disappoint. No ratings, but I will say I think my standout song off the first listen was Lost Angels. Took a little bit for him to kind of find that rhythm in the album, but once he hit that middle section, he was on. All right, he was on. I'm thinking it's going to be in that 7-8ish range. It's not by any means, in my opinion, like a perfect 10 or like an album of the year contender, like we talked about with K-Dot or Future or any of that. But I think it was a pretty good album. All right, it was a pretty good album. I don't think it was as crazy and as good as some people were saying on Twitter, but it was a very good album. It was a very good album, but yeah, just not elite. Just not elite, but he's a young artist, so yeah, plenty of room to develop. Saw a lot of potential, heard a lot of things that I like, and a lot of songs made the playlist. But yeah, Vory, Lost Souls, I highly recommend it. Yeah, go catch that vibe. For y'all feeling toxic out there were plenty of toxic bars. If you want to get in your feels, there was Phil songs. He gave you a little bit of everything you would expect from Vory. So yeah, go shout out to Vory, Lost Souls. Go check it out. Now, The Boys. The Boys are back. Season 3. Homelander has lost the plot, but honestly, he made some of the most crafty moves I've seen him make in the 3 seasons of the show. I'm not going to lie. For all of the insanity that we normally associate with Homelander and just the pettiness, and it was ramped up. It was ramped up nonetheless. But some of the moves he made against Starlight, against Annie, against Vought, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch. It was incredible. It was a great display of villainy, and my, Anthony Starr is an incredible actor. I cannot imagine anybody else's Homelander after seeing him in that role. It's just, he's so good, man. He's so good. So good. Homelander's such a good villain. Yeah, it's been a great first 3 episodes. It's still so disturbing and so up. This show is so up. And the first 3 episodes were incredibly up, as you would expect with The Boys. Alright? That termite scene. For the sake of me not getting demonetized, and I'm not even monetized, or this getting taken down, I'm not going to say too much. But I have very rarely can I remember where I've had to look away from the screen because a scene just made me that uncomfortable to where I felt squeamish, right? I could not look at that. And it wasn't even, I mean, it ended up that way, but it didn't even start off, right, that bad. But I could not watch that scene. I had to like cut my eyes back and forth because it was disgusting. It was disgusting. And every, fellas, y'all know what I mean. If you watch that scene, you watch the termite scene, that is disgusting. I am never, ever putting anything on my urethra. Stan Edgar, Giancarlo Esposito's character. I've been loving those flashback scenes and kind of seeing, you know, how they met and providing some more backstory about Edgar's character and just kind of who he is. He's such a compelling character. Again, Giancarlo Esposito is great. The Charlize Theron also cameo in the first episode was also great. Stormfront, I did not expect to see her still alive, but she went out. What a way to use her. If y'all want to keep her alive, what a way to use her as kind of motivation for Homelander snapping. And yeah, some more disturbing scenes there. I'm not going to talk about that whole her as a vegetable and him. I'm not doing that. But the boys. And I haven't even covered all of what happened in these 3 episodes. But yes, one of the best shows in my opinion on television is back. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what the rest of the season brings. And of course, Herogasm is, if they did justice to the Herogasm comic in that episode, pray. I might not be able to speak about that episode on this show. I'm going to be honest, I might not be able to speak about that episode but in the way this season started, they might have, so I don't know. But yeah, the boys, highly recommend it. Though, be prepared because it is, the hype about the NSFW parts is true and more. True and more. But a fantastic show, great acting. Yeah, very excited to see what Huey and Butcher and the gang see what they get up to. As always, we're letting the NBA main event because it is NBA Finals time. And we're on the doorstep of the NHL Finals, so we're gonna let the NHL go a little bit before. All right, we're gonna do the NHL NBA combo, the sister leagues. And my goodness. The Colorado Avalanche, we started off the playoffs. When I did my playoff preview, I was like, I think this might be the year the Avalanche break through. And then the next week, said Avalanche breaking through. And last week, the Avalanche breaking through. The Avalanche have broken through. They have taken that jump. Now the series isn't over, but they are up 3-0 right now over Edmonton. And McKinnon, Makar, Nishnakushkin with 2 goals in the last game. Francois has been great, and he's the backup goalie. I mean, this Avs team is looked great. They have looked great, sublime. So far in the conference finals. McDavid opened up the last game. He opened up game 3 with a goal on the first shot. But besides that, they've done a great job of kind of being able to, as much as you can, I guess, quote unquote, defend against the best player on the planet. They have done a hell of a job. And of course it helps having probably the best defenseman arguably on the planet in Cale Makar. So that naturally helps, but yeah, they've done a great job with Dry, who's in a lot of pain it seems. McDavid hasn't been, putting up the numbers he was putting up in the first 2 rounds. And of course, the big story coming out of Game 3, which the Avs won 4-2, was the Evander Kane, Nazem Kadri situation in which Kane boarded Kadri now. Kadri looking like he's going to be out for an extended period of a time, I believe possibly even the entire rest of the playoffs. So, big story there. Kane's going to have to go see, have a hearing. So, yeah, big story kind of rising there. Kadri had been great for the Avalanche, so we'll see how much of an impact that has as we go to Game 4. But it's looking like Colorado's breaking the broomsticks out on the Oilers, who have given a valiant opportunity, but they're just not there yet. And the Avs, it's just looking like it's their time. It looks like it's their time. Game 3, Tampa Bay and New York. It looked like this one was going to overtime, but Palat had something else in mind as he gets to the winner, and with less than a minute to go, by the way. I was fully prepared to turn the channel and get ready for overtime, but no, Palat buries it, and the Lightning strike back. Wasn't the greatest of starts. I mean, the Rangers are riding a wave of momentum in those first two games, really into Game 3 and the start of Game 3 here. Off of that Game 7 win in 7-game series versus the Hurricanes, they had been riding that. They had been riding that wave of momentum and just hadn't been, I mean, it looked like a foregone conclusion, but Tampa Bay, like I said, been here, done that, and that makes them dangerous. And they were composed, stayed composed, and they fought back here in Game 3, and they've made it a series. 2-1 still to New York, but I would not count out the Lightning. I would not. Until they are finished off, until somebody gets that fourth win against them, I am not counting the Tampa Bay Lightning out. And neither should the New York Rangers, no matter how much momentum and how much confidence that team has and is playing with right now. I would not count out the Lightning. It's going to be a very, very interesting series. Much more interesting than the Western Conference Final. But nonetheless, the NHL heating up. Also, before I finish, Patrice Bergeron wins his record-setting 5th Frank J. Selke Award. So yeah, shout to Berge. Shout to him. He wins the Selke. I know we eliminated him, but yeah, all the respect due to Patrice. He's been a phenomenal player, future Hall of Famer, and yeah, Bruins legend. So yeah, congrats to Berge. He wins the Selke. Now, the NBA Finals have arrived. All right, they have arrived. And we should be talking about Game 2. I don't know why. For the first time, and I can't remember, because, I mean, it's basically tradition to have a finals game on a Saturday. But I don't know. Whatever it is, they want to do it Sunday night. So Game 2 is on Sunday instead of Saturday, even though Game 1 was on Thursday, which means it should have been. Anyways, NBA scheduling, who knows? Game 1 went to Boston, as we all know, as you should be known by now if you've been following. Boston wins 120-108 after Golden State jumped on the Celtics. I mean, jumped on them in that first quarter. Steph Curry looked like the Steph Curry old. He finished with 34, by the way. He was making it rain threes. It was looking bad. I was like, okay, Boston is in trouble. Tatum laid a thud, even though he was able to, get back to 12 and 13 assists, which was a game high, and I think a career high as well. It wasn't looking good. But who do you call when Tatum's having a bad game, when all else is failing, the Splash Bros are just making it rain? Not Jaylen Brown. You're probably thinking Jaylen Brown. Not even Marcus Smart. No, you call Big Al Horford, Florida Gator legend. All right? You call Al Horford, and he was the splash bro. Not Steph, even though he had 34, all due respect. Not Clay, not Jordan Poole. It was Al Horford making it rain in Golden State. Al with 6 threes and I believe 26 or 28 points to go along with that. An incredible game from Al Horford, who has been the X Factor. The X Factor for the Celtics team. Throughout this entire playoffs, I mean, how many times have I been on this show and I've talked about the game before for the Celtics and I've been like, yeah, Al had 20 and 10 or Al had 20 and 10 this game or 30 and 10 this game. Al Horford has been fantastic. I mean, what a pickup. And I know he's not new to the Celtics, but what a fantastic roster piece for a championship team that Al Horford has been up to this point. Now, Jaylen Brown did have 24, 7, and 5. So it's not like JB had that down game. But it's a big, big story. It's a big story. And huge for the Celtics to know that even with Tatum having that off game, right? This was the off game. It seems he has every series except for the first round, where he just has a dud before he goes back to superstar. He had it, game 1. It was as bad as it gets. And y'all still found a way to win. That's the mark of a championship team. And that makes this, and with Boston winning game 1 here in the fashion that they did, it's not like they eked by or Horford hit a game winner. No, they won by 12 points. They overcame the adversity and then jumped over the next hurdle. So them making a statement in game 1 is huge. Game 2 is going to be massive in determining the momentum. So, of course, you guys will know by the time it's uploaded who won. Of course, I will know as well. But, yeah, I think game 2 is massive. Massive. In dictating just where this series is going. Golden State strikes back. It's like, okay, all right, let's buckle in. If the Celtics win game 2, then oh boy, definitely not over. But oh boy, this is interesting. But nonetheless, it's looking like it could be. I'm not going to say it will be, but it could be a very, very good final series. I certainly hope so. But yeah, Celtics statement in Game 1. Shout out to Al Horford. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the Roundup. And well. We had the French Open, and I don't even know why I called it the French Open. It's the Rafael Nadal Open. Okay, we had the Rafael Nadal Open, and who do you think won? Who do you think won besides the man with more majors titles, now by 2, than any other man to ever play the sport of tennis professionally, and that is Rafael Nadal, who got his 22nd major win and 14th Rafael Nadal Open championship. You know, we used to call Nadal the king of clay. I feel like calling him the god of clay is more fitting at this point. It's kind of crazy how even as he gets older, it's just a foregone conclusion. It's a foregone conclusion. No matter where he's seated, no matter how he's doing heading into Roland Garros, it does not matter. It is a foregone conclusion. It's the easiest bet in the world to bet on Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros on that clay, because he is just different. He's different. He's just better than everybody else, and nobody can touch him. Nobody can touch him. And a hell of a run, by the way. I think beat 4 top 10 or 3 top 10, I think, opponents on his way to the title. So yeah, he earned it. He earned it. One of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. But yeah, certainly the greatest clay player of all time. God of Clay wins his annual invitational at Roland Garros. Iga Swiatek. First Polish woman to ever, first Polish male or female to ever win a Grand Slam title. And she's younger than me, as I found out. This was also one of the youngest finals ever. 21 years old for Iga, and Coco Gauff, American phenom, has not fallen off. 18 years old, makes her first final. Yeah, shout out to Coco. But yeah, Iga versus Coco, 21 and 18. That's insane. Great for the sport of women's tennis, though. Iga, yeah, she's the truth. She's the truth. Nothing much more to say there. She beats Coco in straight sets, wins her first Grand Slam title. Well deserved. She's been hot. She's been hot. Now, in this case, her, build up and rise to world number 1, especially following Ashley Barty's retirement, has been a big story. And a big reason why a lot of people were riding her wave going into Roland Garros. But she wins the French Open on the ladies' side, and yeah, all credit due. Wish her the best. I'm loving the youth movement we've got in women's tennis, as it feels like the torch is truly being passed to some of these young, uber talented female tennis players like Iga, like Coco. So yeah, maybe we'll see that final again. But yeah, Iga proves why she is the number 1 player in the world, and she wins at Roland Garros. Shout out to Wells and shout out to Gareth Bell. He will not be playing golf. Maybe he'll play golf in Qatar. I don't know. But he is going to the World Cup. They did knock off Ukraine I think it was yesterday, or was it earlier today? I think it was earlier today. No, it was yesterday. Got the win 1-0, and Wales is headed to the World Cup where they will be kicking it off versus who else but the good old red, white, and blue and Captain America. USA versus Wales will kick off the Qatar World Cup. And yeah, congrats to Wales. Ukraine sucks, especially with everything going on back home. Would have been a great story, but congrats to Wales. And just kind of that generation with Bell getting a chance to play in the World Cup. And yeah, all credit due. Wish you the best of luck against us. Joey Logano wins at St. Louis. The first St. Louis race in some time at the Worldwide Technology Speedway, I believe it's called. Logano able to get the win off that start. That car was just different gravy. It was just different. The Busch Bros. It ended up being the Busch Bros versus Penske. The way that kind of worked out, that was kind of cool. But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Kyle fought a good race, led some laps, but Logano's, that car was... Sometimes you watch a race and some cars, you can tell they're just different. Logano had a winner. He had a winner, drove the wheels off that thing, and he got the win. A great start after Busch got loose, I think on lap 2 of the restart. And yeah, he was able to get it done. Busch fought to a P3, so we love that for 23-11. And yeah, lot of heads, a lot of eyes gonna be looking at Ross Chastain and Ricky Stenhouse though. With some of their actions in that race, I don't know what's happened. So I don't know if as soon as I race ended, I hopped over here. So I don't know if anything's gone down, but they definitely have some heat backstage, I would assume, following some of their actions in that race. But all credit due to Logano. He gets it done. I think he moves up to 26th, I think they said, all time in NASCAR wins all time. So congrats to Logano. He wins at St. Louis. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Episode 96. We are getting closer and closer to episode 100. I have no idea what I'm going to do for that. That's crazy. Episode 100. I've been doing 100 episodes of this almost. That's crazy, but we'll do something special for that, of course. But yeah. Again, like I've been saying, and like I said on the reaction video yesterday, the love has been crazy recently. I think even the podcast did 60 views last week, so just crazy stuff. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. Getting closer to that 700 subscriber mark as we march towards monetization, and yeah, just appreciate all the love. Appreciate you guys for being here for the Instant Exchange or Ocho Reacts, whatever it is. I just appreciate it, and yeah, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 96. But for now, Ocho signing off.